Right, we're going to look at doing the two-point perspective of this object over here. To start with, we're going to find the vanishing points. I'm going to take a line from my stationary point at that same 45-degree angle that you're seeing over there, up over here. What I'd suggest you do is you can actually do this in fairly dark over there, that 45-degree angle over there, and drop a line down and label it straight away as LVP. Do the same thing on the right. So from the stationary point over here, draw a line going up and draw a line coming down over there, and you can get your RVP over there, RVP. Right, once you've done that, I think most of you are quite au fait with trying to get the this base. It's basically just a square base that they've got going there. You can see that this corner over here is touching the picture plane, which means that the height is exactly the same as the actual height of this thing. So I can take a line coming across over here. Let's just take these height lines out. There it is, coming out there. And I can take a line going out to vanishing point over there, from the base over there, and from that height over there going off to vanishing point. Same story over here, a line coming from that height over there to LVP, and from there to LVP. Right, I need to find that corner and that corner, so I'm going to take a line coming from this corner over here, going down towards stationary point, crosses over the picture plane, and I drop that down into my picture. And the same story over here. I'm going to draw a line coming from that corner over there to the stationary point. Let's line that up nice and accurately. There we go. Drop that down into the picture because it's on the picture plane. And I can then draw in the base. It's also got this little tunnel story going over here. So I'm going to be very careful not to draw too much in dark right away. There we go, a line going over there, a line going up over there, my vertical lines over there, vertical line over there, vertical line over there, and draw in this dark line at the top over here. I've got this little hidden detail story going across there, so I'm going to take the height from here, take that across, take a line going back towards LVP over here. Line going off to LVP over there. And I can now draw lines coming down from the hidden detail part over here to stationary point there and over there. And I can drop lines coming straight down over there and over there where it cut the picture plane, and I can then draw in that little tunnel story. There, draw in the base, line going over there, line going over there, line going over there. And lastly, I've got two lines going into that corner. I need that third line going back to RVP from there to get that tunnel effect. Right, I'm not going to finish off this, this part over here, because I've got this octagonal part that needs to be drawn, hexagonal part that needs to be drawn in the center, and I'm not going to be able to see some of that line. So let's go about trying to find the points of this hexagon. I'm going to label these points, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, and 6 over there. I'm going to place those numbers at the top over here, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Right, you'll see that all of those numbers are on that top surface over there. I'm going to start out and I'm going to try and find point number 1 and point number 2, okay? Once I've found those 2 points, I should be able to find the rest of these things. Right, for finding those 2 points, the way that I'm going to go about doing that is a 6-step story. You'll note that this top view is placed at that 45-degree angle. I'm going to take a line coming from point 1 over here. Step number 1, line coming out from point 1. Step number 2, I'm going to find point 1 on the elevation view over here, and I'm going to take a line coming out at the height of point 1. Step number 3, I'm going to drop a line down onto that height line. Step number 4, I'm going to take a line going back in the direction. See, it's going off in the right-hand direction, so I'm going to take a line at that intersection going off to RVP in the right-hand direction. Step number 5, I'm going to take a line going from point number 1 down to the picture plane in the direction of SP. And step number 6, I'm going to drop a line coming down onto that line that I just drew back to RVP. That'll give me point number 1 over there. Point number 2, let's do the same story. I'm going to take a line coming out from point number 2. Let's do this in red. Line, step number 1. Step number 2, I take a line coming from the point number 2 over there, coming across. Step number 3, I'm going to drop a line coming straight down to intersect with the line that I just drew out. Step number 4, I'm going to take a line going back to RVP in the right-hand direction. Step number 5, I'm going to take a line coming from point 2 down to stationary point, crosses over the picture plane, and I drop a vertical line down onto the line going out to RVP. I've now found point number 2 over there. I can see that there's a line going from point 1 to point 2, so I can draw that in. Right? You can see that point 2 has a line going back to point 3, going in the right-hand direction. I've already got that line going back. All I need to do is to try and find where point 3 is on that line. So I take a line coming from point 3 down to the picture plane, and I drop that down into my picture. There it goes, down she goes, and there is point number 3 over there. I can link point 2 and 3 up. Right, point number 4, if you look at it, it is in line with point number 1. I've got a line going back over there. There's that line going back over there, and point 4 will be found on that line. So I can take a line coming from point 4 at the back over there to the stationary point, crosses over the picture plane. I drop that down onto my view, and I have found point number 4 over there, and I can link point number 3 and point number 4 up. Right. If I look over here, you'll see that I could draw imaginary lines going from point 2 across to 6 and from point 3 across to 5 over there. So I've got point 2 and point 3 over there. And if I took lines going off in that left-hand direction, off to LVP and off to LVP, I can then find where point 5 and 6 are on those two lines. So there's point 6. I'm going to take a line coming from point 6 down to the picture plane, and I drop that down into my drawing over here, and I have found point 6 at that intersection. So there's point 6. Same story with point 5. Take a line from point 5 down to the stationary point, crosses over the picture plane, and I drop that down into the picture, and that point over there would be point 5. I can then draw in the top of that hexagon on my perspective drawing. There we go. Draw in 5 to 6 over there, and from 1 to 6 over here, giving me that hexagon over there. Right, I need to find the base of that hexagon. Let's go down over here. I'm going to call this point number 7. There is point number 7 down at the bottom. And if I can find that, it'll be very easy. Can you see this idea? I take it out. Step number 1. Step number 2, I'm going to take a line coming out from point number 7 at the bottom. Okay, so I'm taking a line coming out from point number 7 at the bottom. I continue this drop from the picture plane coming down to that. I'm going to take a line going back to RVP. There it goes. I then take a line coming from point number 7 down to the picture plane in the direction of the stationary point, and I drop it down onto my line that I just drew out to RVP, and I found point number 7 over there. Right, once I've got that, I can then drop a line going from 1 to 7. Okay, let's do the same thing for, let's place number 8 over there. 8 is underneath number 2. So what am I going to do? Same story. I'm going to take a line coming out from 8 at that 45-degree angle, step number 1. Step number 2, I'm going to take a line out from 8 coming across. Step number 3, I'm going to drop a line coming down from where it cut the picture plane onto the height line. Step number 4, I'm going to take a line coming back from the intersection over there to RVP. Step number 5, I'm going to find point 8, go in the direction of stationary point, crosses over the picture plane, and I drop that down into my picture over there, finding point 8 down at the bottom over here, and I can link point 7 and point 8 up. From there, well, I know that point number 3 must link up with a point number 9. Point number 9 is over there. And I can then take a line coming straight down from point 3 to there. Same story with 2 to 8. I can join a line going from there to there. I know that I've got a line which I could join 8 to, let's call this point over here 10. Okay. Line going across from 8 to 10 over there. There's 8 at the bottom, going off in the left-hand direction off to LVP over there. Okay, and if I drop a line coming down from 6 at the top over there, I will be able to find point number 10 down at the bottom, and I can then join number 7 and number 10. There's 10 at the bottom. You've got your hexagonal shape over there. All I need to do is to finish off the back of the little square base line going off to LVP. I'll be able to see that part of it, and a line going from that corner over there, 1, 2 lines going into that corner. I need that third line going off to RVP like that, and your drawing is complete.